name is Eaddy, and I am one of 40 to 50,000 deafblind persons in America. We are viable human beings before we're anything else. We were never meant to be mistakes. We weren't an afterthought. We're not broken people. We are people with a will and a wish to grow. And that's what I do the best. That's what I do for you. When I came to the Federation, they embraced me and said, "You can do it." And I'm saying to you, we're going to do it. We can grow. We can go anywhere that we can think of making a mark and embracing life, having families, raising our kids, having a job. Even if it's not a real job, it could be volunteering. Those are things that make you important and give you a value. We are not custodial care people as deaf-blind, blind, or hard of hearing individuals. We have the right to be here. We have the right to have an enjoyable lifestyle. We can and do just about anything. I am who I am, but what's even more important is I have something to give and people need to pay attention to it. It's not, it's not like by mistake or magic or I'm something that's a freak of nature, because that's not who God made me anyway. None of us are freaks of nature. We had a purpose to begin with.
Hello, my name is Marilyn DiGirolamo, and I am a support service provider for the deaf-blind.
My name's Chrissy, and I began working with the deaf and deaf-blind because I wanted to do something to make a difference in the world. Anyone can go to work to just simply make a paycheck, but it's true passion, dreams, goals, and aspirations that really matter.
Tactile sign or sign within their range. And sometimes there's a real disconnect between the deaf-blind that can voice and those that are culturally deaf and need sign language. They need an interpreter. And sometimes being able to get funding for that so that they can have the interpreters they need. And also, even the support service providers of New Jersey, they are only allowed 16 hours a month, and that's not a lot of hours. And many don't know how to use it, and I want to be an advocate for the deaf-blind, that they can receive these services and even learn and know how to use these services to benefit them.
For years, I watched my grandmother struggle, trying to communicate with our family and with her community. It was so hard watching her retreat into herself, into her own silent world when everything else failed. She shouldn't have had to rely on that and on someone volunteering to help or someone being lucky to get the chance to be around to interpret for her or to help her communicate. With all of the groups that we have available, the National Federation for the Blind, Deaf Blind League of New Jersey, DBKEN-NJ, SSPNJ. We have these organizations, and we should all come together to work together to make sure that everyone has equal communication and access and dynamic equivalence between languages.
And I met a woman who wanted to go to church, and she wanted to go to my church. And she lives so close to me, and I told her, I said, I can pick you up, I can bring you to church. And she was the first deafblind person that actually trained me to do the work I am doing now. I am a support service provider, and I provide environmental information. I provide a safe guide for going to doctor visits, going shopping, food shopping, explaining what's there, going to the mall, going to the park. It could be just going for a walk and getting them out. And what we provide is independence.
What I really care about is making the mark, moving that dial and getting us to a better place. Nobody should be walking around feeling miserable, that we don't count, we're not valuable, nobody cares what we think. I can't do anything unless my mother says so, my dad says so, or I can't go outside because nobody's going to go with me. It's not about all that. It's about growing and learning that you are somebody that can learn how to do something.
I have my master's degree in social work from Rutgers University, and I'm currently in training at the Colorado Center for the Blind, and I'm really enjoying myself there. Lots of friends and great instructors, very kind and patient. So I came to the right place. I'm a big sports fan, the Mets and the Giants, and I believe in social justice and equality and fairness ever since I was a child. I used to take karate, and with a karate class for people with disabilities, and one of the students just couldn't sit still. And the teacher wanted to punish him, and I'm like, is that really fair? He can't help it. What are you doing, teacher? I've known of John since we were children, and I've been his friend for several years now. I forget which one exactly, but I went to one of his art receptions, because he's an artist, and I asked his mom one day if, he used instant messaging to communicate, and she said yes, and the rest is history.
Well, I really enjoy art. For my whole life, I've enjoyed art. Drawing, painting, any kind of tactile art such as sculpture. I made a beautiful I love you hand by drawing and just feeling. What I do is I feel with my left hand and I draw with my right hand.
Everyone wants to see the basket. They're telling you to move over so they can see it. I'm going to let Kathleen hold the basket up. So I'm here with my colleague, Kathleen Spada. Kathleen Spada is the program coordinator for SSP New Jersey. And I'm here on behalf of, we got some applause out there, thanks to Milla. I am the program coordinator and outreach coordinator for I Can Connect New Jersey. As people heard Bethany speak earlier about the National Deaf Blind Equipment Distribution Program, this is your state's I Can Connect program. So I encourage everyone today, if you can come over and sign in, we can see if you're eligible for this wonderful technology that we spoke about today. We're in the back corner.
Here.
Put aside for waiting and fun.
Yeah, because he was bringing it up. He wasn't doing waiting like this. You were going like this, like fire. All right. All right, say it again. All right, my mistake. I'm messing it all up. Technology is such an important.
Hi.
That's worse. You didn't even know your own name. That's worse. Here. Well, if I was to meet the president, I would say that it's really important for deafblind people to use support service providers, or SSPs. For deafblind people, this is really important. Why? Because deafblind people need SSPs to support them in their lives to become independent, to travel more independently, for communication access, for information about the environment, to share the culture, to have safe guiding. That's what's important to me.
So if I were to meet the president, I would explain how deafblind people should be treated equally like everyone else and included in conversations or meetings, etc. But that they need interpreters and support service providers to assist them to know what's going on, you know, in various activities like a wedding ceremony or going to a restaurant and they can't communicate with the waiters as easily. Sure, they can write notes to them, but I'm sure that's challenging sometimes.
Some people are very independent. They have parents that are very supportive, but not everyone has that. Not everyone has parents, especially those that use sign language. Many times the parents don't even know sign language, and they can feel so isolated. The deaf can feel isolated, so you can imagine how the deaf-blind feel. And I would like to see the deaf-blind that use sign language, that are culturally deaf, be able to be part of the NFB and be able to benefit from all the services that they provide. This is a quote from Maya Angelou. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel.
And if I had a miracle up my sleeve and could get anything that I wanted, it would be to have SSPs identified as a medium and method of usage for deafblind people so that they can enjoy the same quality of life that the other deaf or blind folks have under ADA. We have a right to live in the world, to go shopping, to go to the store, to go to school, go to classes, sitting in a meeting, or any number of other common things that everybody else does that are almost impossible as a deafblind person without support persons with us to do. And that's what I would want. It needs to be part of the ADA just as it was originally designed, but we were left out. We weren't included in a population scheme. And we're not just deaf, we're not just blind. We have something that's totally unique, but we have a lot to offer.
In my professional career as an interpreter, a support service provider, and an officer of the deaf-blind division of the NFB, I'm actually able to provide many needed services that my clients can utilize. But I am just one person, and there are so many. So imagine if we all came together to make changes and to inspire new ideas. Gandhi once said, "Be the change you want to see in the world." Why can't we all be the change we want to see in the world?